Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to Chocolate Covered Pages. I'm Kiona, and in today's video, I know you see the title, I feel like I have found the best book that can compare to Flyy Girl by Omar Tyree. Let's talk about it. Alright, so you know how we all read Flyy Girl by Omar Tyree a million years ago, back when we were like 13, 14, right? I am qualified to talk about a comparison novel to it because I reread Flyy Girl not too long ago. I reread it. I actually was supposed to do something here with that reread. It didn't happen. It didn't go through. But I still read the book. And, you know, I'll just say now that it didn't hold up for me as well as a 30-something-year-old as it did when I was 13, right? As a 30-something-year-old, I realized that Tracy, the main character in that book, was a little knucklehead sometimes. Okay? Now, this book made me think of Flyy Girl immensely because it is a black girl coming of age novel where it just shows how much other elements would have made Flyy Girl a much fuller novel. You know what I mean? So I'm going to tell you the name of the book that I read very recently, and this book is also the first book that I picked up in 2024, and that is gonna be Last Stop From Innocence by Takerra Allen. And I also want to shout out Memes, my subscriber, for putting me onto this book because listen, if you've been following my latest videos, I have been starting to kind of go through Takerra Allen's catalog after reading one of her other books that I really enjoyed, and I was looking for some other books to pick up of hers. She did come out with a recent book, but it is going to be a part 2 to that. So I decided, you know what? I am going to wait till part 2 of that book is available before I read part 1. And Memes recommended Last Stop From Innocence. She said that that was her favorite novel of Takerra Allen. So of course I wanted to pick it up, and baby, when I tell you this book was everything. This book took me through it, okay? I'm talking about so many emotions, and you know, that's my favorite thing about books, is when I'm reading and I'm feeling all the emotions. Okay, let me tell y'all what this book is about. So this book is about a young girl. She's literally 18. She just graduated high school. Her name is Amore. Her mom has just passed away. So it starts off really sad. You know, her mom has just passed away. She already had plans of going to Howard once she graduated. So this entire book takes place the summer before she goes away to Howard University, right? So when her mom passes away, she could either go live down south with her grandmother, which she doesn't want to do, or she can go and live with her estranged father, who has not really been in her life her entire life. Basically, he's not been in her life, and he lives in Jersey City. So she decides, you know what, I don't want to be down south, like bored out of my mind. I guess I'll go to Jersey City, right? So she goes to live in Jersey City with her father, who she doesn't even know. He doesn't really know her, as far as she knows. So, you know, it's a little bit awkward. She's also dealing with a lot of grief, you know, because this is all fresh. You know what I mean? So we are definitely seeing that grief play out on the page, of how she's feeling. You know, you could imagine she's like she's really going through it, you know. So she is in this new neighborhood. You know, previously she was living in the suburbs, and now she's moved to Jersey City. And if you don't know, Jersey City is the hood, pretty much. So she is kind of like having a little bit of a culture shock. You know, there's bodegas, you know, there's sketchy people around, you know. So Amore's whole attitude at this point is that, like, you know what, I just need to get through the summer. I just need to get through the summer so that I could just go on to Howard and I never have to see this neighborhood, my father, these people ever again, right? But her cousin, who she used to hang out with back in the day, she ends up reconnecting with her cousin named Tammy, and Tammy is the same age as her. She has plans of going on to a college as well. So, you know, they begin to reconnect with each other, and the book kind of takes off from there. And I love seeing Tammy and Amore's relationship, because it just reminds you of how, like, when you have a good cousin and you have a cousin that's like around your age, like, y'all could really be best friends, you know what I mean? So I love throughout this book how they really just had each other's back. And Tammy was also a really fun character. So let's get to the nitty gritty, right? So Amore meets Gabriel, aka Guapo, and Gabriel he's a bad boy. He is a boy that Amore's father doesn't want her even breathing the same air as, because, you know, Amore's got big plans. She's gonna go off to college, and this little thug is not what he wants for his daughter, even though he don't even really know his daughter like that, because he ain't really been in her life, which is her argument, like, who are you to tell me who I should be, you know, gallivanting around town with. But anyway, Amore meets Guapo and she is immediately attracted to him, you know. But Guapo finds out that she is gonna be leaving at the end of the summer, and he's kind of feeling like, you know what, I like Shorty and everything, but I feel like if I continue, like, if I get in too deep with her, I'm gonna regret this because she is leaving me, you know. And it's this constant countdown that is like looming over them, you know. At some point it's kind of like, you know what, to hell with it, you know. I really like you, like, I don't want to be with nobody else but you, you know. Even though, you know, Guapo tries to fight it, but he can't, because Amore is just everything that he could have wanted. You know, she's sweet, she's caring, she's thoughtful, she has a great head on her shoulders, and she also has a little bit of a slick mouth, you know. So he enjoyed the fact that she could give it back to him, you know. She wasn't one of those yes girls, you know. She wasn't one of those girls that he could just kind of tell, you know, nah, you know, whatever, like, I don't want to be bothered with you. Like, Amore is showing up to your crib, you know what I mean? Like, where is he? You know, I just thought that this novel was fun, heartbreaking. You know, Amore just goes through all the things of being an 18-year-old black girl, you know. She is like this. When I tell you this is a coming of age novel, this is absolutely that. Stepping into womanhood, you know, losing your virginity, heartbreak, grief, falling in love for the first time, like, all of these things. Like, I was just like being taken back to like when I was young. And I think that that is what will happen for other people around my age when they read this book. This book is great for young girls that are in that age range, you know, that 18, 17 and up age range. And it's also really good for the 30-somethings, because we like to be, you know, nostalgic, you know, of when we had our first love and how we was feeling, and just like all the things. The other thing that I want to talk about with this novel is that there is a kind of mystery element that is way in the background, right? That you don't remember is even lurking until, boom, it happens, right? And I definitely figured it out pretty early on what was going to happen. So when it actually happened, I was not as shocked, but I was still pretty like, whew, about it. You know what I mean? Like I was still affected, you know, and I could see that a reader that wasn't seeing it coming would probably be like, who, like, even though I saw it coming, I had to close the audiobook for like a couple of hours. Like I could not just continue listening on like everything was great. No. I needed a moment of silence. I needed to just take in everything that had happened. So we get that other element amongst all of these other elements that we're already getting. And the book is also set in the 90s. And it's just like, I love when books are set in the 90s. That is another kind of comparison to Flyy Girl, because it's giving 90s as well. You know, we got beepers, okay? And I mean, like, it's giving true 90s. It's not giving that fake 90s where somebody just mentions some acid wash jeans real quick and then we just move on with the story and they still talking about things that have happened recently. No, like this book actually feels like it was written in the 90s. That's how accurate it feels. The constant beepers, the music, Butter Love by Next is a constant song that's referenced in this book. And I love that song, by the way. And there's a few other songs that are like sprinkled throughout the book that you're like, oh yeah, I want to hear that song because I like that song. I remember that song. And just the whole vibe of it is just, the whole vibe of the novel is just so good, and I really enjoyed it. And I think that if you read Flyy Girl or you haven't read Flyy Girl in a long time, maybe give this one a try, because I feel like reading it now, I definitely enjoyed this one a lot more than Flyy Girl, because this one had more in it. You know what I mean? I liked Amore as a character. You know, I like how she used her brain to think about things. Like she just wasn't on some, and I'm not saying that Amore and Tracy are the same, because they're not. They're not. I'm just comparing them based on the overall feel and the overall coming of age black girl novel, right? Set in the 90s. That is what we're comparing. But I feel like Last Stop From Innocence is absolutely a book that you should be picking up and giving to young girls, because it's a lot of takeaways from this book. It's so many things to take away from this book. One of my favorite quotes in this book, Guapo says to Amore, "Amore, you're more than my girl. You're my hope." And when I read that, I was just like, damn, like that was something. You know, because I know why he was saying that. Because he was a kid that he grew up in the hood, you know. You got to understand his life. Like, he is literally stealing cars. He is stealing cars so that he could take care of his mom and his younger brother. Because his younger brother has the potential to be like an all-star athlete, and he just wants his brother to focus on that and let him do, you know, the street stuff to get him money, and where he don't have to, you know, worry about anything. And it's just like Amore was giving him hope that there was more to life, basically, is what he's saying. And that just really resonated with me. Like, I really enjoy Guapo as a character. I feel like him and Amore, like, they just had that young, reckless, you know, when the love is just young and it's just reckless and it just doesn't care. The emotions are just so raw. Like, you're easily jealous. You're doing craziness that you wouldn't do in your 30s because you know better. But at 18, at 22, you don't know any better. You feel like what you're doing is the right thing. And I just feel like this book just really hones in on that, you know, on being just young and reckless and just not being able to fully not being able to fully express your feelings about things and not knowing why you feel the way that you feel and feeling insecure about other bitches. Like all of these things, like all of these things are just like encompassed in this novel. And like I said, like Takerra Allen, like she killed this. She killed this. I think I might actually like this one better than the last Takerra Allen novel that I read. I don't know. It's like she's just getting better and better in my book. I don't know, but it just means I need to read some more of her books as well. So I could continue comparing. Maybe I'll like rank them or something. I definitely would recommend this. If you haven't realized that already, I gave this book completely 5 stars. 5 stars, okay? I am so happy that I started off my 2024 with this book, and I hope that me picking up this book first and it being a banger, that this is setting a precedence for the rest of the year, because baby, I don't have time for the non-bangers. This is what I want. I want more of this. Okay, if you have a book recommendation that you would like to give to me as well, I love reading y'all recommendations. Please drop them down in the comments and I will definitely look into them so I could try to work them in, because clearly y'all know where the good books are. So I'm following y'all. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and give me a thumbs up on the video, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.